adjust my slippers. I was walking around as if I didn't have a care in the world. Having my back heel, the slipper back heel kind of folded under, the kind you'd probably be annoyed at your kids, the kind of way you'd walk if your kids would walk if they weren't trying to annoy you and not get their feet all the way in the shoes. I know they're just slippers, but it was disrespectful to the slippers. My slippers deserve better, and I deserve better. Good morning, Will, Bill, Chill. So I feel happy to adjust them and have my slippers on the right way. When's the last time I talked about these? Maybe I'll get a huge sponsorship from UGG Slippers. Good morning, Jack Taylor. A huge sponsorship from UGG Slippers. When did I get these? I have too much sealing going on. I might have too much sealing going on. Can you have too much sealing? You probably can have too much sealing. I think you definitely can. I'm going to change the angle. There you go. You get a little more of me, a little less sealing. But anyway, my ex-wife bought me these, and I've said this before. Must have been 5 years ago. Must have been just about 5 years ago, because I moved in back in our house from the dark apartment, which was the birth of Coffee with Ken. She was being super sweet and got me a little housewarming gift that was these black slippers. Since that time, we got married, we got divorced, we had 2 kids, we bought a dog. Or no, we already had Holly at the time. No wonder I have a lot to talk about every morning. No wonder I have a lot to talk about. Moved several times. I moved across the country. I moved back. There's been one constant. I've been drinking a lot of coffee every day. It's got to be a good thing. Oh, you guys are in for a special treat this morning. Oh, yes, you are. I'm in for a special treat. It's hard to keep it secret. It's such a good treat. But anyway, good morning to you. My name is Ken Tracy, and this is Coffee with Ken. It is Monday morning. I don't know, it feels like a weekend to me, but it's Monday morning. It is August 19th. It is 6:11 a.m. Happy Monday. It's a show I've been doing for quite some time. It's a show about me talking, show about me sharing some experiences, sharing a little bit about the ups and downs of one kind of man, one guy. It doesn't matter that I'm a man or a guy or 56 or live in Illinois. Those are just kind of the details that follow me around because it's part of who I am. But I have a heart and a mind and a soul and a feelings like all of you do as well. And I think that's probably what makes this show interesting, I would think, is that I share my feelings and I share stuff that I think a lot of people would be insecure and uncomfortable sharing. I think I just realized 5 years ago that keeping it in and going, sometimes you want to scream, oh crap! Sometimes the world won't listen when you go, oh crap, I'm hurting. And 5 years ago the show, sitting by the air conditioner today, just went on. Really blows a lot, by the way. Probably blows, I don't know, can you change these vents? No, you can't change the angle on the vents either. It blows hard as if it's like a winter storm coming through my apartment. as I'm laying in bed, I recently added one more layer of cover, one more layer of protection from the elements. Good morning, Chip. Thank you, RJ. One more layer of protection from the elements. My bear blanket, Chicago Bears. My daughters bought me it several years ago. It has traveled to and from Yellowstone with me. Was a key ingredient, kept me warm on those first 2 nights when I tried to rough it and sleep out under the stars. Sleeping out under the stars is a really poetic way to say freezing your butt off on a yoga mat on wood chips somewhere in Iowa. When I do write my memoirs, which no doubt will be a New York Times bestseller, I wonder if I'll phrase it as sleeping under the stars or freezing my ass off somewhere in Iowa on wood chips on a yoga mat, huddled under a bear blanket. It was late May. I thought it would be warm. I did not think it would be so cold. I don't think it has to be that cold. I think I just kind of ran into a cold patch. I think God wanted to make me tougher and stronger. I wrote the book on comforters. Well, this isn't a comforter. This is just a little bear blanket. One of those nice fuzzy, soft things. Kind of a comforter to me seems like one of those big, heavy things that would have taken up all my storage in my scooter, which got me to and from Yellowstone. I did not have room for such luxuries as comforters or pillows, by the way. I used a laundry bag. I had a little, garbage bag. I still got it with me. I still use it. It should be an advertisement for this brand of garbage bag. I had extra clothes or dirty clothes or what have you shoved in there, and that became my pillow. Very versatile I was, or very creative. I was like MacGyver out there on the road. But anyway, this is what the big secret and big excitement is. For those that have been watching, you know this is not just a show about me talking. You know it is also, Lars is at the gym. Good morning. RJ, do I like firm pillows? I like the perfect pillow. What's that guy? He's conservative. He's been banned and boycotted for having conservative beliefs. But he sells, what's his brand called? The Perfect Pillow? Something like that. I actually like the pillows I'm rocking right now here at this extended stay. They're soft and they have a little bit of give, but not feather pillows where you just, there's nothing there. I like a pillow that you can rest your head on. You maybe sink a third the way into the pillow, and but it supports you nicely. And if you sleep on your side, it kind of hugs your side. And I like having 3 or 4 pillows in my bed, so I can kind of put one between my knees and one I can kind of cuddle with as I'm spooning the nobody, spooning nobody. I didn't think at 56 I'd be spooning nobody. I thought I'd have a love of my life cuddling next to me. It's not to be. It's not to be. Or at least it's not to be at this moment. We don't know what the future holds. Hello, Brenda Leah. Good morning. My pillow. That's the name of this pillow. That's right. But anyway, as I was saying, this is a show about me sharing my love of coffee. And with that in mind, I have a nice hot cup of coffee. And oh, I wonder what type of coffee it is. Oh, I wonder what type of coffee it is. I'll bet you nobody will guess. I bet you those that are out there going, oh, it's the pumpkin spice. I know that. He drinks that most days. Oh, would you be wrong? And then there's probably about a fourth of you that are wondering, could it be the Starbucks Sumatra? It must be. That's his go-to coffee. You too would be wrong. It's a coffee I've never drank before. And I'm about to have my first sip in front of you, and I am excited. And my hope is wherever you are, whatever you're doing, You have a hot cup of coffee in front of you as well. Cheers to us. I'm nervous almost. Salud y dinero. It's nice. It's real nice. It's got a little bit of after flavor as well. And it was so smooth going down. I'm excited to have another sip. Let me go. Hello, McLaughlin. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. I don't think it's going to replace I don't know if it's going to make the regular rotation, or I don't know that it needs to be put to such high standards, but it is nice. And for those that are curious, and I'm sure you are all, it is the Starbucks smoked butterscotch. It's a seasonal flavor. I don't think it's around year-round. I think it comes out in fall along with the pumpkin spice. It has a kind of brownish golden bag, and it's lovely. I'm going to have another sip right now. I think it's so fun to have a bunch of different flavors of coffee. And I know there's people out there that want to know what they're getting, and RJ drinks his Morning Joe and puts the exact allocation of coffee in to the coffee pot every day. And then there's wild people like me that have 3 or 4 different coffees and don't measure and just kind of go like this, shake a little bit in, shake what we deem the right amount on a given day on a Monday in late August in 2024. And the coffee we, as in me, I like to pluralize our singularness, even though it was just to me. But this way I get to blame you for being involved in the poor cup of coffee. But it wasn't a poor cup of coffee. It was a delicious cup of coffee. So in some ways, I'm giving you credit for the delicious cup of coffee by saying we. Just like kind of mixing it up a little bit and trying different things. And again, I was talking to my brother the other day, and he's looking for a coffee he can drink every day kind of. But I was encouraging him to get a few different ones. And it kind of makes the morning a little more fun. And I'll promise you, this morning as I was laying in bed, wondering, what time is it? Oh, what time is it? Could it still possibly be 2 a.m? Could I go back to sleep? Could I lay around? And it's not like I have anything I really needed to get up for this Monday. I don't work at a 9-to-5 job. I'm a waiter currently and a aspiring content creator. And I think I have the whole day off. I have some family stuff I'm going to do. I'm going to see all of my kids, or at least 3 or 4 of them. And but other than that, my schedule is clear. I could do what I wanted. I could lay in bed all day almost. But something nice to be excited about after you wake up and maybe your mind's in a negative place. Turning your mind around and turning your thoughts around and saying a little prayer. Say any prayer you want. Say any prayer you want. There's no right way to pray. I think it used to stop me from praying as I felt silly. Or I thought there had to be a right way, or you had to get on your knees and do this. I never really understood what it meant when they said God is everywhere, or God is all around us. Good morning, Julie Flanagan. But I think what they meant by God is all around us is, and this is going to be sacrilegious to some, but top poop, it's my show. Maybe God is good with one of the O's gone. And when you're thanking God, you're thanking all that is good in the world. And you're noticing all that is good in the world. And you're having gratitude soak through your pores, and you're thankful for this. You're thanking God for this water. Because you could easily take a big sip of water and just go, not even really notice it. Or you could experience the water and savor the water and chug the water and enjoy the hydration and the coldness and the way it hits your tongue. Same with the coffee, same with the flavors, same with the weather, same with the seasons. Or you can kind of just go through life and not acknowledge all the goodness that is around us and not thank God for all the goodness. And again, I'll leave you to interpret what you think God is, because I'm not here to judge. I'm not here to judge, but I think God is good and goodness is all around us, and therefore you might as well notice and appreciate all of that. I went to church yesterday. Met my daughter Erin. She's off to school today. I was crying yesterday. My pastor, who was up there, who does a great job, his name is Chris. He's, I don't know, I'd call him a youngish guy. I'd assume maybe early 40s, I'm going to guess. But anyway, nice guy. They brought him in maybe a year and a half ago or 2 years ago now. And he's done a great job as lead pastor. He's really relatable and just seems like a good guy. And just seems like a good guy and somebody that would be nice to hang out with. He usually he gave a great sermon yesterday, and they've been talking about habits. And honestly, I thought he stole some of his material from my show. Because I talk a lot about habits, and I talk a lot about waking up and making your bed and praying and getting a little better. And he was using some of my material. Wouldn't it be funny if Chris is out there watching right now taking notes? He probably wasn't. He probably got it from a higher source than Coffee with Ken. But it did make me feel good that a lot of the stuff I'm talking about every day is written in the number one bestseller of all time, which is the Bible. Must be doing something right if a lot of my material's in the Bible. Maybe in another life I actually read the Bible. I'm stealing the material or violating some copyright. I'm sure God would appreciate that I'm spreading the word, even though if I don't know I'm doing it. But anyway, I met my daughter there yesterday. I was running a little bit late. I was feeling guilty and feeling in trouble. I was riding my scooter, and I left here about 12 minutes till the service started. And it turns out the church is about 15 or 16 minutes away. And every light I was anxious at, looking at the clock, I probably looked at the clock 30 times in those 12 or those 15 minutes it took me to get to the church. So that's a little reminder. Don't run late. It's just not worth it. There's nothing good that happens running late. If you can help it, get up a little earlier or get out of the bathtub a little sooner or get going a little earlier, because running late's no fun. And I was feeling horrible the whole ride and going, oh, she's going to be upset with me. I hope she's running late. And wouldn't you know, she wasn't running late. She wasn't running late. She was actually early. And when we greeted each other, she goes, oh, yeah, well, it's okay. One of us is always running late. And I go, I am never running late. Well, I won't say never, because I ran late today. It's always you that's running late. She debated it, but we let it go. She's a lot like her dad. I was going to say something, but I won't because it would sound vain. But she looked so beautiful yesterday. I was running late. I was looking around. She said she was in, and she was wearing a long black dress. And I was going, wow. My little girl's all grown up. She was carrying a little free hot chocolate they gave her. She was loving on it. She was carrying a Bible. I didn't know she had a Bible, but she has a pretty pink Bible that her mother bought her for her birthday. And apparently she involves herself in some youth faith groups with a couple friends that had similar ones. And I thought it was neat. I don't own a Bible. I've never even read the Bible. I don't even know where I feel about my faith. I just know I feel better when I go to church on a Sunday morning. And she was taking little notes, and I've never seen her do that. And the pastor would refer to various passages in the Bible. Aaron would flip through the 8 million pages that are in the Bible and find the passage. And she had a little pink highlighter that she would highlight the scripture, the words that were being spoken about. I thought that was neat. I was proud of her. I was thinking she's going to have a better life if she attends church occasionally on a Sunday, or has some faith, or has something she believes in. And made me happy. So, let's have a little more coffee. Oh, but she's off to school today. The lead pastor's oldest was going off to school today, and he mentioned that she is an awesome young lady, and thank you. Was off to school today, and he touched on it and mentioned it, and he goes, well, that's all I'm going to say about that. Otherwise, I'm going to be standing up here blubbering and crying. And I felt the same way, and I felt a bond to the pastor because my oldest is going off to school today, and I'm so excited for her. I'm so excited for her. And I'm thankful that I have the day off work today. So although in a perfect world, and the world's not perfect, I'd be driving her and helping her move into her dorm, but her mom and stepdad have that covered, and are going to drive her, but I'm going to go out and see her off, probably shed some tears, give her a big hug, kind of savor in that excitement that is your oldest going off to college. Yeah. But anyway, let's have a little more coffee. My second ex-wife, the mother of my 2 little ones, is sick. Has been sick the last couple days. And kind of hard connecting with my little ones. I got 2 little beautiful babies, Augie and Eve, who are almost 2 and almost 3.5. Not respectively. Augie's 3.5 and Eve is almost 2, but they're beautiful. And their mama's not feeling well at all. And their older sister was taking care of her, and my day kind of passed, and I was reaching out, checking in on the kids, and my ex-wife wasn't responding right away because she was really not feeling well, and she said, oh yeah, they're up now. Sent me a text, if you want to come over you can, and give their sister a break. And so I was fortunate to go see them and spend a few hours with them last night after their nap, and cuddle them at their mom's house. It's hard when you're, I tell you, I bet a lot of divorced men go through it. It's hard when you, I don't know, it's hard if you don't have your children all the time, having all the comforts of home. And when they're little, they need cribs and toys and this and that and gates and stuff. And I would bet most divorced men are more mobile or more move around a lot more or what have you, because they don't have the nest created, or at least I didn't, and I bet a lot of guys don't. So it's hard, especially when you're me and you're kind of patching life together, as life sometimes has a way to need patched together, especially after you go through divorce, and you're staying in an extended stay. And having your kids over, they don't want to be toddling around here. There's not a whole lot to do. So in some ways, I felt it was fortunate that they needed me at their mom's house, and they're with all their toys and all their stuff and all their TV and all the strollers and everything else that little ones need. So I was able to go over there and hang out with them and see my dog Holly and take us all on a real nice long walk, because I think it was good for the little ones to get out of the house and kind of sit in the stroller and just kind of look at things and watch things. And Holly loved running around and smelling the smells and peeing where she needed to pee and getting some of that cabin fever out of her body as well. She's a beautiful English Springer Spaniel who's 6 years old and still got a lot of life left in her, and needs to get out more. So it's nice getting there and having the kids need me. I know they need me every day, but they really needed me yesterday because their mom was kind of out, was down and out, and I got to hang out with them. And I don't think either of them are 100% because little Eve has a little bit of a runny nose, and Augie felt a little warm and was a little cuddle bug. And I don't see him nearly as often as I'd like, but he was just kind of cuddling in my arms, and sweetest little nugget. Felt just a little bit warm. Hope he's feeling a little better today, and hope Eve's little runny nose is all cleared up. But if not, maybe I'll get to see him this morning and love on him a little more if their mom's still not feeling well, and maybe go for a walk if they're up for it, and spend some time with them, and looking forward to that. So, I got to put them down to bed last night. They've gotten a little bigger. I had to prepare and plan. Get the pacifier up there, get everything in order, then carry them up the stairs. And again, I felt like it's what I should do because, I don't know, maybe they're not feeling 100%. Maybe I wanted to carry them upstairs and love on them a little more. But I'll tell you what, they're getting bigger. Do I think I might get ill? Well, there's definitely a thought of that, and I was worried about that. I tend to not get sick very often, RJ. I like to think I've had a kind of little cough for a while and a little congestion for a while, but I like to think I don't get sick, and I can't afford to get sick. I literally almost can't afford to get sick. Now, I wonder, because people reach out and say, hey, aren't you worried about this or aren't you worried about that? And I try not to worry about this and worry about that. But, yeah, when you're waiting tables, there's no salaried pay. And let me tell you, I don't have a huge nest egg that I can rest on for those sick days. And I pay my rent weekly here at this lovely extended stay that you see me in. And I cannot afford to get sick. Yeah. So, no, I won't get sick, and I'm not worried about it because I just won't. And if I do, I don't know, I'll make it through. I'd miss a day. Hello, Lisa. Miss a day. Worst case, maybe miss two. And I don't know. Last time I was really sick, I was working, and it was almost 2 years ago. For anyone watching a long time, 2 years ago, I was just wrapping up my real estate career, and I was showing a good friend homes, and I said, I've been doing this 17 years. I don't like being a realtor. If my buddy doesn't buy a home by the end of the year, I'm not going to renew my license. And he didn't. And I had some closings at this time, and I made a little money, but I was running on empty, and was done with it. More done with it than I even knew. And he didn't buy a home by the end of the year, so I didn't renew my license. So I had no cash flow coming in, and I'm going, wait a minute. I didn't have consistent, reliable paychecks, but every now and again I'd have a closing, and I'd get a check for $5,000 or $10,000 or $15,000, and that would last me a couple months. And my expenses were big, so I needed those closings for at least one closing a month, because again, I'm twice divorced, child support, rent payments, car payments, every other type of payment that you have and I have, and but anyway, I was leaving the real estate business, and I had a buddy over, and he goes, hey, about 5 years ago, I wasn't doing anything at this time of the year, and I started working at UPS, and he was telling me about it, how you're a driver helper, and how you get in the UPS truck and deliver packages to homes, because around Christmas is their busiest time of the year. And did that for, I don't know, end of November up till Christmas time. And I don't know what my point was. Oh, that was the last time I was really sick. And I felt horrible. And it was only like a job I had for a month. And I go, look, I am never sick, but there's just no way. There is no way. I can't do it. I would infect the driver. I couldn't make it. And I don't like that feeling at all. Again, I think I have a maybe overinflated ego, some might say, where I feel I can pull myself up by the bootstraps and get through anything. Thank you, Julie. Yeah. But I'll tell you what, that was a cool job. If anybody out there is struggling for a little cash and needs a little money, I would give 2 thumbs up to UPS. It wasn't a ton of hours. I might have been working 20 hours a week, maybe something like that. Only making, I don't know what I was making, $19 an hour, and this was 2 years ago, so they probably boosted it a little bit since then. But it was cash flow when I desperately needed cash flow. And felt good because, again, I was wrapping up my real estate career. And felt good working. Yeah. And I talk about real estate a lot, but talk about it a little more. There were a lot of challenges to being a realtor, but for me, I think I could have handled the volatility in income, but if I had a better way to handle the volatility in activity or the lack of feeling of productivity, I probably could have done it at a higher level. Because, every day you'd wake up and you go, what am I, and granted, there were some more organized realtors and there was better ways to do it. And I probably didn't do it the best way, but I try hard and work out schedules and say I'm going to door knock at this time and I'm going to go into the office at this time and I'm going to send out 50 emails and I'm going to reach out to 20 people and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that and I'm going to host an open house, and on Thursday I'm showing these buyers, and on Sunday I have a listing appointment. But I was so busy trying to keep busy, if that makes sense. That was my whole thing, trying to keep busy, going, hey, there's a networking meeting at the chamber, or there's a networking group meeting here, or maybe if I develop this social media mailer or put together the perfect flyer. And again, I never cracked the code. Case C meme, I love your coffee talks. Lately it's been very job and work focused. Is that just the season you're in? Or is that just the best thing to chat about on these sessions? I don't know if there's a cause. It's just where I'm at. I tell you, I think a lot of people, and I think my audience would grow quicker if I talked about sobriety more. I know my biggest videos, because I clip these reels I go live almost every morning. And by the way, I didn't go live 3 mornings ago, and it felt so good. People ask me, why I don't work out more. I work out probably 3 times a week. I go to the gym. And why I don't go 5 or 7. Because I don't want to go 5 or 7. And I want the freedom to do what I want to do and not feel like I'm a prisoner to the gym or even a prisoner to my live shows. And I was starting to feel like I had to go live every morning because I'd done it for 3 or 4 months straight, and my audience was growing and my revenue was growing, but I felt almost trapped. And I woke up the other day and I didn't like the feeling of being trapped. And I said, I'm not going to go live this morning, and just did a taped show. Then, as things would have it, CNBC was on, and somebody was talking about real estate, and I got all my juices fired up, and I hopped on and did a live show about real estate, but that wasn't planned, so that doesn't count. But is it job-focused because of the season I'm in? I don't know. Why would I focus on sobriety if I didn't really have a problem? Well, I would say I did have a problem. But yeah, I just don't think about it a whole heck of a lot. I don't think about it. I do know when I post a video on sobriety, the videos do real well and get seen by a lot and hopefully make a difference. But I don't know. It's just not. Drinking is just no longer part of who I am. It was who I was 5 years ago, even 3 years ago. I'm coming up on, people count days. People count days and take it day by day. I mean, I know what day I did stop drinking and why I stopped. Atwood said, but not an alcoholic problem, really. I'd get crucified if I said this. Am I worried about getting crucified? No, I'd be in good company. I question the medical evidence that is alcoholism. I drink every day. I had a problem. I did it too much. It was impacting my life. I got a DUI. I think by every definition, I would have been an alcoholic. It consumed my life. It was all in my thoughts. But one day I decided I didn't want to drink anymore. And I haven't. C. Smith says he dropped his oldest daughter off at college and was a mess. How fast she went from 3 to 18. Emotional for sure. Yeah, like I said, Erin's off to college today. One of my fondest lifetime memories will be cheering for her in track and cross country that she competed in junior high and high school. But her high school career was a blink of an eye. Went in a blink of an eye. And, yeah, it's amazing. Hug your kids, love on your kids, cheer loud at their events. Let's have a little more coffee. I should probably get a little more. It is the smoked butterscotch after all. How do I fight temptations? I don't fight temptations, RJ. I'm not tempted. I think that's the best way to fight temptations. RJ said, how do you fight temptations? And I don't want to get specific about RJ, but I know some things about him, so I'll generalize it. I think you're only tempted to do, I smoked pot every day, and I drank every day. And I was tempted all the time. But you know why I was tempted? Because I hadn't decided I was done. And until you decide you're done and you don't want to drink or smoke anymore, you're going to be tempted. I have people messaging me going, I'm trying to cut back. That sounds like hell. That sounds like hell, trying to cut back. And I ask them, do you really want to stop drinking? And the conversation usually ends at that point. Because I think for anybody out there that's trying to cut back isn't doing it. It doesn't work. Certainly didn't work for me. When you decide you're done, it becomes easy and you don't fight temptations. I mean, there's a couple times, but barely. I think trying to stop, it would be hard. You got to stop. And you got to start enjoying I can't tell you how thankful I am that I have a clear mind and don't have kind of that yucky burning feeling in your body that drinking too much last night, or the waking up in the middle of the night with your heart racing because the sugar and the alcohol is just digesting in your system, and all the yucky things it does to your body. There's a reason when you drink, you throw up, because it's not good for you. So stopping drinking, and it doesn't matter to me if you guys stop drinking or not, but stopping drinking is a good thing. So I don't really fight temptations because I'm not really tempted. Will I ever drink again? I don't know. I doubt it. I think things happen for a reason. Any support groups in my life? No. And I don't mean to be pompous. I don't need a support group. I'm a support group of one. I don't want to drink anymore. I have never called anybody, and I've called people on this show at some really hard times. Really hard times. People that are listening right now, where life was really hard. And I don't think I ever said to anybody, oh, I want to drink again. Do I feel lonely? No. I mean, there's times I'm alone. But I feel less lonely. And I talked about it yesterday. I think I'm happier today than I've ever been in my life. I mean, okay, I look back on my freshman year at college, and that was fun. But I think I'm in a better place emotionally and mentally and spiritually and in every way than I've ever been before. And I think part of that is being okay that sometimes you feel crappy, and sometimes you feel lonely, and sometimes you're broke, and sometimes your ankle hurts, and sometimes you run out of coffee filters, and sometimes you get pissed off that you're out of coffee filters, and sometimes you go, oh, Ken, you idiot, you were at the store last night and you didn't pick up coffee filters, you dummy. And then you catch yourself and you go, hey, that's not right. I'm not an idiot. I was smart to even be at the store. I'll just go to the store now and get the coffee filters and things will be okay. So instead of beating yourself up for your forgetfulness or your emotions or your feelings, go, I'm sad now. Well, it's okay to be sad. Sad is a natural emotion. I'm divorced. I don't have as much in the bank as I want. I'm staying at an extended stay and riding a Suzuki Bergman, which I love. And I got a lot of work to do. But that's okay. And there's a reason for it. And I talked about it before. I came into Chicago 2 weeks ago and got a job at a cool restaurant and worked hard and was trained 6 days in a row. And I think charmed my way into the job, to be honest with you. But it was a job that they didn't really need me. When I was hired, they told me 2 or 3 shifts, and I think they were pushing the envelope at that time. And on my 6th day, the boss's boss called me in and said, hey, Ken, somebody else is coming back to work. We don't have enough shifts for you. And I was angry and I was sad and I cried and I let the boss's boss know how I felt about this decision. And I sulked and I licked my wounds and I messaged a couple people going, hey, I just got let go. And faced it and kept going. But I didn't let it consume me, and I didn't let it ruin my, occasionally I'll still touch on it and go, it pissed me off. But I think I had a right to be pissed off. I was working hard. I worked 6 days in a row. Training isn't fun. But I don't let it consume me anymore. And have learned to let it go and get past it. And I will tell you what, if I was still tempted to drink, there was, every day I have something that sends me to an issue with an ex-wife, or a bill that's bigger than I knew, or an ache or a pain, or a bad customer, or I don't know, something life throws at you. Something life throws at you that feels too much to handle. And the worst thing you can do is crack open a bottle of beer, or go to a bar, or drown your sorrows. I promise you that. That's the worst thing you can do. Somebody asked, no job currently. Am I searching? No, I have a job because I licked my wounds. I literally was crying in the lobby. Not blubbering crying, but tears in my eyes going, crap. I just finished 6 days of training, was so proud I got a job in an awesome restaurant, and then they let me go. What the heck? And was crying in the lobby. And got up, called the employer that I'd met with prior, scheduled an interview for the following day. Honestly, I was hoping he could meet me that day because I was a couple doors down from where I was working. Wasn't satisfied there. Went to a restaurant about a block or two away. Went in, asked the young lady at the front desk if the manager was available and if they were hiring. And he said no, but you can fill out an application. And I told him, well, I really need a job. I don't want to just fill out an application. But I did, and he was kind enough to talk to me. And I was was able to bitch and moan and cry in front of him and say, hey, I'm hurting. And he goes, okay, it's okay. Real men cry. Felt good that he understood and recognized my pain. And the next day I got up, I went into a bunch of restaurants, and I got a job that night. But if I would have licked my wounds, or worst case, gone to a bar and tried to drown my sorrows, because all you're doing is you're covering them up. And I think I needed to cry, and I needed to be bummed, and I needed to be pissed off, and I was all those things. But then I kept going. I'll tell you, you don't keep going. When you go to a bar to drown your sorrows, you're stopping. You're stopping. You're not moving forward. You're not making progress. You're not getting towards the light at the end of the tunnel. You're just making the problem worse. So I was never fixing anything or dealing with anything. Somebody's saying I'm an action taker and saying it's inspiring to listen to me in the morning. I want to thank you for saying that, and I'm glad you're inspired. But I promise you, I'm not trying to say I've got life figured out, or I'm awesome, or I'm cool, or you're not. Because I have wallowed. I have drowned. I have spent money. I've gone to casinos. I have smoked pot. I have done shots. I've thrown up, I've been hungover, and I've gone, crap. Now I'm out of a job, I spent money, I'm hungover, I'm feeling fuzzy. What am I going to do today? Well, what I should do is do it again. And let me tell you, that's a bad cycle to be in. Because there's nothing that, RJ asked, how do I fight temptation? And I was saying I'm not. Personally, for me, I just think drinking is so stupid that I'm not tempted to do it. I mean, yeah, just listening to me talk or saying the words I'm saying and thinking about it and the experiences I've had. And that first restaurant, I think, if I did anything wrong at that first restaurant in my training week, is multiple times people wanted me to taste the alcohol and drink some alcohol to get a flavor so I could explain it to my customers so I could sell it more. And I was convinced I didn't need to drink it. I was sold on the sangria because it came in a big jar and it looked tasty, and I knew it had bourbon, and somebody told me it was strong, and I could sell sangria because I think it's delicious and it looks refreshing and it was strong, and I know I could have sold it to my customers. I didn't need to drink it to know. But they wanted me to taste it. And I was going, well, I told you I didn't drink. And she goes, well, you're not going to have some? Just taste a little bit? I don't think I want to. So if I did something wrong, it was that. And if they wanted me to do something else, and I think and I'm not saying they were forcing me to drink, but I am saying it's possible they let me go because I did not taste the alcohol. They didn't say that because I think that would be illegal. So anyway, rather than lament that or be bummed about that, I think it's best just to go, hey, there weren't enough shifts. I need money. I need to work, 4 shifts a week at least. And they offered me 2 or 3 and then told me they didn't even have that. And no matter how cool the restaurant was or fun the food was or good the atmosphere or nice the music or pretty the customers that walked in, I was feeling pressure to drink and was only being offered initially 2 or 3 shifts a day. So again, I think God works in ways that we don't always understand at the time, and I wasn't meant to be there, and as cool and as fun as it was, I wasn't meant to be there. I wasn't meant to be there. And I feel good about where I'm at. And somebody commented yesterday on my live video, because I was doubting and I was wondering and I was worrying, that I have found my path. And my path is waiting tables and doing coffee with Ken and building coffee with Ken while I wait tables. And I had doubts, and I was tired, and I didn't get enough sleep yesterday, and I was wondering, hey, is my body going to hold up? Is the money going to be enough? Do I like it enough? Is the restaurant right? Am I the right person? All sorts of doubts. Does Coffee with Ken stink? Does anyone want to watch? Is my revenue growing quickly? All these worries and doubts that can take us over. And somebody commented out there, I think it was Henry Ziba, said, I think you found your path. You're going to wait tables while you grow coffee with Ken. And I appreciated the vote of confidence, and I thought about it a little bit, and I realized that by going live, and I'm not doing it for the money, but by posting this video on YouTube, and I give you the behind the scenes, I get paid $4 or $5 every day by YouTube for posting this video on it. Because they run some ads and 200 or 250 people watch it taped every day. And because of that, YouTube pays me $4 or $5 a day. And $4 or $5 a day is not a lot of money. But in 6 months, I would bet a lot that it's double that, if not more. And that if I keep a good attitude and go in and work hard and wait tables and pay my financial responsibilities and keep a roof over my head and keep working out and keep talking about whatever the heck I want to talk about while I'm drinking coffee on a Monday morning or a Tuesday morning or a Saturday morning, that things are going to be okay. And my needs today I've achieved half of them or not half of them, a good chunk of them by going live this morning because it's good for me. Apparently you guys are watching, so you must get something out of it. I'd like to go to the gym. I definitely would love to see my babies, and I'm certainly going to see my oldest one head off to college. And outside of that, I have a free day, and I can relax, and I can enjoy it, and I can appreciate it, and I can know I deserve it. Because I'm going to be working tomorrow night, and Wednesday night, and Friday night, and Saturday night, and I'm going to work hard, and I'm going to make some good money, and I'm going to do my best, and I'm going to keep my options open, but still at the same time feel good that I know I'm doing the right thing. And that all feels good. And we don't always know where our path's going to lead us. I did not know 6 months ago that I was going to be in Yellowstone for May, June, and most of July. And that was a strange surprise to me and a neat adventure, but a place that was great to experience and have memories of. But I'll tell you what, it feels good to be back, and I'd rather be in the western suburbs of Chicago than Yellowstone. There's no doubt about it. Yeah. So anyway, I never did get that second cup of coffee. But I promise you, I will. I just might not share it with you. It's Monday morning. Mondays are some of my favorite days. Kind of days of the week, first days of the week, days to start new. Granted, I have the luxury of not working a 9-to-5 Monday through Friday job. I know when you have such a job, a lot of times Mondays aren't so fun. Thank you, Lord, that I'm not working on this Monday. And that I get to see my babies, and I get to see my big one off to college, and I get to drink another cup of coffee and post some videos and I don't know, have a quiet day, work out, go to Starbucks, laugh with some baristas, get a refill, get some water. Carol says it's a closing day for me. Remember those days? Yeah, Carol's a realtor. I didn't love closing days as much as most people as a realtor. Because, yes, you need a paycheck, but one thing what I liked is having my books, having a crowded schedule of 3 or 4 or 5 closings scheduled. And when a closing happened, yes, you got a paycheck, but it was also off the books. Your accounts receivable had been just shrunk. And, yeah. I don't envy you on your closing day, I'll tell you that. Because you'd go to the home inspection, and then you'd go there and you'd sit in the room, and maybe you don't even sit in the room anymore. Yeah, you'd go back, that's off the books, because it felt good having X number of closings scheduled. And it felt good having X number of closing scheduled. Yeah. And when they're unscheduled, I don't know. But anyway, I want to thank you guys so much for joining today. And I appreciate you hopping on. And I hope you had a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And I hope you are excited about this Monday. Good morning, young Madre. And I appreciate you. And I'm thankful for the coffee. And I'm thankful for this Monday morning. And I'm excited about whatever the day holds. And I hope you're feeling good. And I hope you are loving yourself. And I hope you are forgiving yourself. And as always, I hope to talk to you soon. Bye-bye.